Hey, you're listening to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 520. I'm Ryan. I'm here with Toby. Today, we're going to get our balls blue at cEDH. Now, hit our theme song!
That's my best impression.
There we go. It's hard to do all in one breath. Yeah, okay, so we got to test my mic to make sure it's back to normal.
Yeah.
Because I probably blew out producer
You
Gary's
were
ears.
nowhere near as loud as Brando usually is.
Oh, I know. And you know what
Our theme song. I can't do it either.
on the
It's
outro.
tough.
On the outro.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is you go back and listen to Commander Cookout like episode 40, 50, 100. It's like, oh, dun, 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 hit our theme song.
Just slowly goes
yeah,
up.
yeah. But today we're here, and I would say, hey, Toby.
Hey, Ryan.
He doesn't know the vernacular.
No, I don't. Yeah.
We're back for another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Wait, you're not Brando?
I am not Brando. I'm sitting in the driver's seat for Brando today, though, for what he called the first ever intro that I did and totally didn't live up to his very famous reputation.
Yeah, it didn't. It sounded better when me and him were here and he did it.
Yeah, I suck.
I'm not gonna lie to you, pal.
I suck. He is good. I am stupid. He is smart.
Well, let's not.
Let's
tone her down here.
He's handsome. I am not attractive. He's got a huge wiener. Me and producer Gary and our good friend Toby, tiny wiener. Yeah.
Let's go, Shrimp Gang.
Yeah, let's go, Shrimp Gang. It's even curled. It's even curled on the end. But we're here. We're going to talk about cEDH today. But before we do, a little bit of podcasting, professional business. We got to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They're your source for all your gaming needs. Let's see if we can count like Brando does. All of your Jaws needs, because he likes Jaws.
Yes.
All of your Final Fantasy needs.
Yes.
All of your Lord of the Rings needs, because me and you are here. And F. Brando. All of your Avatar needs, all of your Secret Lair needs, all of their deal of the week last week was Murders at Karlov Manor singles. Yeah, you use CCO Nation promo code. It's going to save you 5%, and it's going to let everybody at Fusion know that their partnership with the boys at Commander Cookout is a good one. And big thank you to patreon.com/CCO supporters, the patrons, of which Toby is one, or was one, or was one. He was at the CCO experience in Calgary last month. We talked about it on the pre-show yesterday. You can listen to that for sure. Tons of fun.
You forgot Dwight stuff. You got to get your Dwight stuff.
Dwight
stuff.
Yeah. Usually Gary says Dwight stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Dwight. Gary's
too
dropping
late.
the ball. Big thanks to producer Gary at the Dufferin Avenue Media and Studio Network Studio. We're here. Brando is here, by the way. He's just playing Nintendo like a schlub. Yeah. And final big thanks goes to Pile of Bones, our official beer sponsors. Brando drank the stunt beers, so we don't have them on the table. And Forrest from Pile of Bones didn't meet me today to deliver any more. So thanks to them, but we don't have any to show off. You'd see that if you were watching on YouTube.
I was a little sad we didn't have any podcast beers to drink.
Thank you.
Oh, I did it so good last time. I was bound to miss it this time.
You're bound to miss. Yeah, you're bound to miss. I miss all the time. Ask my wife. It's ask your wife too, I bet you.
Oh.
Yeah. I miss all the time in cEDH. Ask Toby if you've ever seen the other episode that you were on. Do you remember what number it was?
It would have been probably 3 or 4. No, it was late October. You do 4 weeks. Let's work back. 512? 510?
Yeah, 515?
515 something?
Yeah,
515. Let's go
something.
515.
And it was all about what new players really think, right?
Yes.
Because you're relatively new.
Yes, very much so.
So everything he says today isn't actually real, because he's going to try and show me up on cEDH, because I'm actually a dumbass too.
Yes.
And I'm the first one to admit on my own show that I'm a dumbass. It's all self-deprecating here on Commander Cookout. Welcome to the show if you've never seen it, for sure. But you and I think, have a similar approach, despite me being like a grizzled old fucking warty veteran and you being a spry shrimp gang newbie. So that's what we're going to talk about. I've got some kind of legacy ideas of how cEDH came to be and was and is foundationally. But because I don't play it maybe as much as you do, I'm just outside of the know. I think that the carburetor is still the best way to deliver fuel to the engine. And that's just not true anymore, I guess. So that's kind of where I want to start.
Yes.
Way back in the day.
Okay.
It happened to be a Saturday. And Brando and I are in Calgary. It's 2018. And we're getting stomped by the Calgary cEDH crowd, which I do want to take a time out to talk about in a minute.
Okay.
But we're getting pounded by the Calgary cEDH crowd before cEDH even existed.
Yes.
Okay. And our buddies Lenny and Steven were there. FU Jesse, FU Smitty was there. FU Lara was there. And
The whole crew.
The whole crew, yeah. CCO runs deep, as it were. We spent the weekend, the first 2 days, getting kind of pub stomped, really.
You guys said be very careful about what you bring to Calgary because they stomp people there, and I had zero problems with that.
Good.
I had a lot of not great games with the Populace, but had nothing to do with their decks.
Okay. Shout out and shots fired to Calgary. Let's get back. Let's talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about that in a minute. I'm going to keep giving my history kind of monologue. We're getting stomped. By Sunday, a few of our crew kind of banded together and said, hey, we're not going to, we're playing for prizes. And this is before like the bracket matchmaking system and game changers, and even before Rule Zero, start the game. What kind of experience do you want to have?
The Wild West.
Yeah. cEDH didn't even exist. Like, nobody called it that. It was kind of like competitive games or casual games, and nobody even talked about it before games. Yeah, it was a little bit wild. So right after that, it was no coincidence. We all had this bad experience. And right after that, the following week on Monday or Tuesday, the Commander Rules Committee at the time, Sheldon Menry and the gang, came out with Rule Zero, kind of a pre-game kind of rule that says, hey, players should at the very least declare what kind of experience they want before games start.
Which great rule.
And it was the best tool that they could come up with at the time, and it helped. It helped. And I think what it helped the most with was creating that divide between, I want to have a casual, even high-powered but casual experience, versus I'm playing to win this game because probably prizes are involved.
Yes, that makes sense.
And 2018, I think, from a Magic kind of history standpoint, was when cEDH was kind of born. I guess let us know in the comments or in the CCO Discord if we're wrong. And fast forward from 2018, that's kind of been developing, and you've been a player since the bracket matchmaking system has been, right?
Brackets started, I remember, I think within the first 2 or 3 months of me playing.
Okay.
Somewhere in there, maybe that's not exact, but somewhere in there, that is when the bracket system started. Because I remember playing my first few games and then learning about Rule Zero and whatever it was, like the out of 10 power level thing at the time, and it always came down to everything's a 7.
Yes.
And that was one of the first Magic memes I got was, yeah, this deck is a 7.
That's why we had the CCO every deck is a 7 sticker.
Yeah.
It's a good thing those are sold out now because all decks are 3s now. Whew, dodge that bullet. But yes, whenever I see Josh Lee Kwai from the Command Zone, I always used to bug him because I bugged him about it being the Command Zone's fault that every deck is a 7 because they were the first big content creators that I had ever heard of talking about decks being rated in a 1 to 10 power level system. And for a while, actually, that worked. Actually, it did work. When Rule Zero started and your deck was anywhere between a 1 to a 10, if you were playing a pile of garbage, ladies looking left, guys jerking off like theme
played
deck.
that deck.
Yeah. Theme deck. Oh yeah, my deck is definitely worse than a precon.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
If I'm playing competitive Magic, even if we didn't call it cEDH, my deck's at 10. This is the strongest deck I can make with or without proxies that I could make, and I'm using it to try and win for prizes,
Yes.
right? And that at the time was competitive. That's just what it was. So fast forward, and all of the development through history happened, and cEDH became a thing, and you could put little pins on at Magic Cons or Magic Fest saying looking for competitive or looking for casual.
Nope.
They had different signs up in different ends of the commander areas in different Magic Cons or events that you could go to. Competitive over here, casual over here, and it's some gradient in between. If you go in the middle, you're looking for like medium power. Now we would call those,
3/4s.
3/4s.
Yeah.
Now, and face-to-face games on their tour even sets it up that way now. They've got the 1 and 2 bracket where you pay your game vouchers and win appropriate amounts of prizes for that.
Yes.
That level of game. If you want to play a 3 or 4, you pay more vouchers and win more prizes.
Yeah.
And then if you want to play cEDH, dedicated the modern kind of definition, or today's
Yes,
definition
they
of
had
cEDH.
their own actual cEDH pods, which you did pay more to get in, but you
Yep.
did win the most on those, which is how it should be.
You don't, and specifically, it's the same as the 3/4 bracket to buy in, but you take all of the prizes if you win.
Yes.
Nobody prize splits. You just win or you don't win. And that was their way, and I think effective way to
Yes and no.
in that system, in that rules
I think-
prizing rules system, it was
Yes.
effective.
I think what they did with brackets 2 and 5 were very effective.
Okay.
I don't think you should pay more for a 3/4 pod,
Oh.
because I found if I was going into a 3/4 pod, which is where I live, that is,
Yep.
I like playing at about a 4.
Yeah, high power, but not so cutthroat competitive that the decks start to become meta-ized.
Well, for me, the problem is, so you go to face-to-face. They are
Okay.
whatever you call it, the WPN sanctioned or
Yep,
whatever that is.
yep.
So you can't proxy.
Correct.
You physically cannot bring a proxy card and play there.
Correct.
I can't afford a cEDH deck
Oof. Because you're new.
because I'm new.
'Cause you-
And the cEDH deck that I like, I think I priced it out at $10,000. That's what it is. If I want,
Why so many money?
because dual lands are expensive.
Dual lands?
all
Guys Cradle?
I do not play. Well, I've been playing a little bit more green, but
Okay.
I like Vivi, which is a bad cEDH deck. Don't play
Mishra's
Vivi.
Workshop. I'm trying to think of what are the expensive cards. Time Twister?
And nobody really plays that. There are some decks. Honestly, it's all the Moxen. If you play any of the Gaia's Cradle decks, then you need Gaia's Cradle and Candelabra.
Oh, Candelabra's
You
another
need
one. yeah.
Candelabra. You need it's mostly just all the Mox. It's the land base.
Mm-hmm.
The land base alone is usually about $3,000.
Yep.
Then once you get past that, it's all your little cEDH staples that are all on the reserved list. You can't get those.
Yeah, and they're all anywhere between $20 to $100. Oh, see, this is me being with the when I say legacy, what I mean lowercase L legacy, like the legacy of cEDH is these cards used to be that much, and I have a price memory to remind me that that's how much they are.
Well, it's like I've had this conversation with Brando and Courtney a bunch of guys a number of times because I don't own a Lotus Petal. And they're like, "You don't own a Lotus Petal? I have 16." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a $50 Magic card." They're all like,
And Brandon's got
"You
18.
see, he's got 18. It doesn't. How many he has doesn't matter. That is what's 18 times 50. That's a lot of monies."
I just picked up a foil Lotus Petal from FusionGamingOnline.com. Papa Fusion, good to your good friend Ryan in Calgary. Got some store credit. CCO Nation promo code. Save 5%. You could even use it with store credit in tandem. Yeah, you can touch tips, store credit, and promo code.
Pretty good.
No money spent. Hey, note to the wise. Maybe that's how you build your cEDH deck.
I'm gonna need a lot more than store credit to build cEDH decks.
Tangent, but only a very small one. Watcher in the Water. One of the cards that you really like, right?
That deck is apart right now.
Okay, but you like that card though.
I do love that card. That is
FusionGamingOnline.com. Rich and the boys over in Winnipeg, Manitoba have a serialized poster art one for you.
How much?
Never mind. You get 5% off CCO Nation promo code.
I might pick it up.
You could save double digits.
Yeah, I absolutely would save double digits on that one because I've been looking at that card quite frequently.
Oh, yes. That's a good-ass card.
It's in Miss Bumbleflower now.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Okay. Well, okay. So you've got this Death Killing Machine $10,000 deck.
Yeah.
And
it's not even that good in CEDH.
And it's not even
It's not even one of the best decks. But it is low tier 3.
But is anything that good?
Yes, there is a few decks that are absolutely that good.
Okay. Let's in my mind, and I just did a Commander ad populum on this not too long ago. So look that up and listen to it. How and I know that this isn't universally true.
Yes.
But what I had talked about on Commander ad populum when I was driving in my car, I was saying sometimes it feels as though when you play cEDH, there's less variance from deck to deck. That doesn't necessarily mean in-game variance is less from game to game.
But actual cards in decks is less. And that is true. That is very true.
Correct. And my example is, and don't chide me for this too early, I have an Animar deck. At one point, it was a cEDH deck. And I still use it when I play in games of cEDH. I still use it.
It hangs. It's probably still tier 3. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine. What's interesting about it is I have an Animar deck that was tuned for cEDH with all the meta-specific inclusions that Bracket 5 says it ought to have, right? And the cEDH meta says it ought to have. Brando's got a Animar Clones deck, and our friend Dennis Scratchapeepee has got an Animar Hydra deck. And all three of those decks fucking slap.
Yes, Animar is just good.
But they're all different, right? And if I didn't have the Animar cEDH deck, I feel like I would have a lot more fun playing it. But I need all those meta-specific includes to hang.
Yeah, oh, you absolutely do.
Absolutely, you do. And that's why I like taking a little bit of a step off the gas, take some of those, and I did this for Calgary, actually. Yeah. I took a few of, like I took a mental...
misstep?
I took a mental misstep out, and I took another card out and added in cards that I just wanted to play.
That's fair, yep.
And yeah, I put a Artisan of Kozilek into my cEDH deck.
I don't even know what that does, and the fact that I don't know what that does means it probably doesn't belong in there.
Yeah, but listen to this. It's a 10-9 for 9, I think. 10-9 for 9?
9 colorless, so free.
For free.
So for free, yeah.
ETBs, take creature from graveyard, put it into battlefield.
Not even deck?
No. Anyways, it's a specifically not a meta-specific choice.
No, very not.
To knock my Animar away from, not into bracket 4, but away from like trying to get all the way to 5.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today is we say bracket 4 or bracket 5 or bracket whatever. It's not like those brackets are
close.
Like,
4 and 5, that is the Grand Canyon. That is a jump.
Yes. What I mean though is those brackets aren't set in one place. It's like the North Pole. The North Pole is a real place.
Yes.
Geographically, it is a real place. But there is no fucking candy cane pole because it's ice, and all that ice moves around, so it can't stay in the same place.
There's no pole?
Sorry, I'm ruining Christmas for Toby.
Then where does Santa live?
There is a pole in the South Pole, I've been told. But the North Pole moves around because it's water.
It's all ice. Yeah, no land there.
It's like saying that's where the North Pole is. And looking for the striped candy cane pole, it could actually be over there because the ice moved, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel brackets 4 and 5 are. And we're only ever trying to move towards them if we want to make our deck better or better in the meta.
Yes.
Or away from them if we want to play it more often in non-competitive atmospheres. Is that do you think that that's accurate?
Yeah, yes and no. The thing that I'm really liking these days about because I play cEDH, but I don't actually probably play as much as you'd think. But I almost follow cEDH like baseball players.
Oh,
like I look at the stats, I look at the meta decks, I look at the data, I look at all the things. So I don't actually play a ton. What I do is when I am bored somewhere, I just whip out my phone, start looking at what's in the meta, what are
Yes,
people
yes.
cutting, what are people adding. That's the thing I really like, is looking at the meta. When I played fighting games for like competitively, I'd always look at what is the meta, what beats the meta, how can I break the meta. I've always been I try and break metas and really look at why they are the way they
Yes.
are. That's interesting to me.
Theory crafting.
Theory
behind it.
crafting is my favorite thing. And the thing we're getting right now is a lot of cEDH potentially viable commanders in every set.
Mm-hmm.
And so just a lot of people are trying some new stuff out. A lot of times doesn't quite work out, and then they just go back to their old pile of whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But there's new stuff where you can swap out, There's still probably the same 80 cards if you're
Oh, okay. Hold that
playing
thought.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes, that I think very understated benefit and advantage of playing competitive Magic, and depending on your vantage point or how you regard the format, or whether you have the cards or don't, or whether you're in a proxy friendly environment or not. If, let's say, again, I'm going to Teamer, I have a Teamer cEDH deck.
Yes.
I have 60 cards that go in every Teamer cEDH deck.
For the most part, yeah. Essentially, yeah.
Plus or minus.
Plus or minus, depending on really what you're trying to do.
So really, and those cards, those 50 to 60 cards, are the land,
Yeah.
the interaction,
Yes.
the fast mana artifacts.
Once you have your Mox Opal, Mox Diamond, Mox whatever, and all your dual lands, your shocks, your fetches, all those
Yes.
things, your Fierce Guardianship, your Force of Will, your whatever, like once you have those cards, you have most of what you need for a cEDH deck. Then it start getting into, okay, my guy's Cradle deck, am I a Grixis Turbo deck? Am I doing a Tolly? Then it
Yes.
starts getting a little
Yes.
more weird.
Yeah, and I think that is such an understated benefit of the format, because people do what I did a few minutes ago. Unbeknownst to the listeners, we had a computer crash and we started again.
Yes.
But what I said a few minutes ago was, I don't feel like there's a whole huge swath of card diversity like there is if you're playing bracket 3 or 4. And that same disadvantage,
Yes.
or pessimistic kind of thing that people say about cEDH is also a benefit if you want to lock in on your favorite color scheme or whatever, right?
Once you have the cards, it's nice. The problem is the cards cost a lot of money. So but let's say you've been playing the game for 10, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably already have a lot of the cards. Yeah, you have them. A guy like me who's just getting in, if your tournament isn't proxy friendly or your place is playing isn't proxy friendly, I am screwed. I am done. I can't participate. I can't. There's no feasible way, unless I was making 6 figures, for me to get into non-proxied cEDH. It's just it's not going to be a big thing I can do.
I'm going to take a quick aside then.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you about a little email that I got from a Steve Domaluski.
Ooh.
He's my buddy in Calgary. He says there is a cEDH proxy-friendly tournament happening in Calgary, Alberta, February 21, 2026. So he says, playtest or proxy cards, all good. 80-minute Swiss rounds, 120-minute for the top 10 or top 16. Top 4, 150-minute rounds. Oh my God. Also, 26 players. The threshold is 26 players.
Yes.
1K in prizing. Yeah. This is a privately held tournament, proxy-friendly cEDH event in Calgary in February with $1,000 in prizes.
Most of the good cEDH tournaments are all proxy friendly. They
Yes.
just are, because they have to be, or else you just wouldn't get your player count. You just wouldn't hit it. So
Yes.
all the good ones with good prizing are always they're proxy friendly. It's the most proxy friendly format in Magic, I would say.
Yeah. So I am going to definitely drop his email in the show notes, and he mentions a Discord. You can get in touch with him. You can get into the Discord for this tournament. Payout for prizes if they get 26 players, $625 goes to first place.
Not bad, nice.
Yeah, and then 2, 3, 4, like the top pod. The rest of them will get 125 each.
Pretty good.
If they get 32 players, same prize structure for top pod, but top 10 all the way down to top 10 are going to get $50 each. So you're going to get your prize fees essentially back, or sorry, your entry fees
Your
back.
entry fees, yeah.
And then top 16, if they get 48 players, are going to get all their $50 back. And if they get 64 players, it's going to be $1,100 to first place. That's fucking sick.
That's
so
unbelievable.
Information is going to be in the show notes. I told Steve that I would talk about it on the show and direct people his way. It's going to be at a local gaming store. I'm not going to say which one because it's a proxy-friendly event, and I don't want to get into the weeds on that. But it's going to be in Calgary, February 21. So check the show notes if you want more information on that. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's tough to get into. So what does one do if one is trying to move towards Bracket 5, cEDH, playing for money or playing to win, whatever it is? You say you analyze the meta and try and break it. Is that by way of finding cheap substitutes? Is it by way of finding alternatives or ways to beat the best decks? Like, what is it that you do?
That's really tough in CDH. I like that's what I like to do. Have I been able to do it in CDH? Not overly. Like I think there's you almost got to look at, because no matter what, I'm a Grixis boy at heart. Love me some Grixis.
Because you're actually a blue player by nature.
Yes,
and then you add the other two good colors in cEDH, in my opinion.
That is at least two of the best colors in CDH, black and blue. The rest are kind of murky on what the best is there.
Depends on what you do, strategy, play style, meta.
So I've looked at a bunch of stuff. It's mostly comes down to it's always Grixis pile is just good. It's fast. It has tutors, interaction, speed. It's got all the good things. And then it's almost just looking at, the number one Grixis deck right now, and has been for basically ever, is Rograk Silas. Which your commanders don't do much.
Keep going. I've got something up here to talk about. So keep going.
Your commanders don't actually do much. All Rograk is, because he's a 0-drop, is now you have deflecting SWAT, fierce guardianship, all that stuff online the minute it hits your turn.
Deflecting twat.
You have that on immediately.
Yep.
And then from there, you just try and turbo out one of your combo lines, do this, do that. So I've been, now I start looking at other commanders. People were trying out Green Goblin for a bit. That was a bit slow.
That's an Uncle Brando special.
Yeah, it was a little, no, not that Green Goblin.
No.
Not that. That Green Goblin would not work. Don't play that one. Do not play that one.
That's the green fucking goober.
Yeah.
I have the cEDH deck list database up right here.
Perfect.
You've heard of it.
Yes.
I have Rograk Silas Turbonaws as one of their current competitive decks. And this is actually great. Like, you can go on Google and just go cEDH deck list database for anybody who's unfamiliar. And it's going to go up, or it's going to come up with a list of, by color or alphabetically, the current accepted best decks in cEDH. But what I like about this, how they have it now, is there's filters. You can filter it to Brewer's Corner, which actually gives you decks that are kind of like up-and-comers.
Yeah.
Right? Like things that are new commanders from new sets that have potential. Or a commander that does a new thing in a very established color combination or shell of a deck. We talk about those, 50 to 60 cards that do the thing, and then the commander is a lockout piece or a value engine, right?
9 times out of 10 value engine.
Yeah. And then there's what I really like from a historical standpoint. You can filter it to database, and it's going to give you all of the decks that have ever been in the cEDH deck list database. And it's, to me, almost like a walk through history.
Memory lane.
Taking
a trip down memory lane.
Oswald Fiddlebender, Heliod Ballista, Orvar
Heliod
Twitch
Ballista,
Control.
I've still seen that. Oswald Fiddlebender was CEDH?
Yeah, dude.
Gross.
Grenzo Doomsday. Yeah.
Doomsday's out of the format. That is gone.
Croxa Hand Control. Sisse Adaptive Tutors, where you use the white-green Sisse to tutor for legends.
Oh, not even the 5-color
Well, no,
Sisse?
the 5-color one's in here too.
Well, no, I was about to say, because the 5-color Sisse is an actual... Well, there's 2 different decks that use Sisse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. There's another weird one that has some strange lines that I don't dive into. But then there's just the good Sisse, You do your Derevi, Amelia the Blessed, Gaia's Cradle, Flicker
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. That deck I know, and that is a real, actual deck. What are you doing in Selesnya in cEDH?
Enchantress? I don't know.
Enchantress hasn't been good. They don't even do Zur the Enchanter anymore. That is a dead deck.
I will say this, and this time I will use capital L Legacy.
Yeah.
Way back in the day, before Rule Zero, before that Saturday in 2018 that I told you about, before that, people actually ported their Legacy decks into EDH decks. They said, oh, this deck's not viable in the format Legacy anymore, or I want to play Commander with my favorite high power cards, or I want to keep a Commander playset, which is one.
Yeah.
I want to keep one,
One
Force
card,
of Will,
yeah.
and I want to sell my other 3 Force of Wills to finance my Commander deck. And they ported their Death and Taxes deck, their Show and Tell Emrakul deck when Emrakul was still legal, their Death and Taxes. Did I say that one already?
You said that one. That was the first one you said.
Oh, yeah. Their Merfolk deck, their Goblin deck, their Zoo deck. I want to port those into my Reanimator deck in Legacy. Port those into Commander decks. And that's how more competitive or higher power Commander started. What, you're running Force of Will in Commander? And it actually is good with top, Sensei's Divining top, and Counterbalance, because you could go fucking force your thing, or you could like Sensei's Divining top and Counterbalance, flip over my Force of Will off the top of my library and counter your 5-drop with Counterbalance. Because 5-drops get played in Commander.
Yeah,
They don't
all
get
the time.
They don't get played in Legacy,
No, they definitely don't.
but they get played in Commander, and that was such a power fucking move to hide your Force of Will on top. So when they play
their commander probably.
their 5-cost Commander, you flip over your Force of Will and Counterbalance counters their shit. Like that's
kind of sick. I
that's
like
an
that.
old school Commander play that I frickin' seen it happen. Our friend Colin frickin' did it one time to Uncle Brando in his own house.
Ooh,
I fucking seen it.
disrespect.
Oh no, it was.
Oh no, it's fine disrespecting Brando. That's fine.
Yeah.
You can do that all you like.
I'm gonna read you back some more decks, and they even labeled them historic, so
Yeah,
you know which ones are the old ones, and this is gonna be some PTSD for some of the old school people who've been around. Okay, Edric Turns, Edric Spymaster of Trest.
And then you just extra turns.
Yes, because whenever you frickin' hit a guy, you draw a card. That's what Edric did.
And you miracle cost over a free turn spell or something.
Yeah, you play all the flying men, like the 1/1s with flying for 1, and 15 extra turn spells. And I attack with 5 or 6 guys. They all have flying. So I draw 5 or 6 cards a turn. One of them's bound to be an extra turn spell.
Sounds bad.
Oh, fucking dirty.
Literally sounds.
That was the best thing you could do in Commander for a while.
Oh man, the Dark Ages sound awful.
Oh no, the Dark Ages, yeah. Were any cards from the Dark in that age? Maze of Ith, probably.
You don't play Maze of Ith.
Well, not anymore, but we're talking about the fucking Dark Ages.
Okay, the Dark Ages you might play Maze of Ith.
Blood Moon.
But that's still a thing.
Blood
You still play that in Magda. You still play that in.
Magna, definitely a deck that's still on here.
Oh, Magda's still good.
Yep.
Still a fine deck.
Marath of the Wild, Stacks.
Stacks isn't much of a. It still is kind of a thing. Like you have like a Stacks, can have some Stacks sub stuff, but Stacks as a deck is just not fast enough now. Stacks has been outspeeded, outclassed now. You don't play Stacks anymore, almost at all. You still like if you're playing Magda. Yeah, I'm gonna run my Blood Moons. I'm gonna run my my defense grids. Like there still is Stacks in cEDH, but like a devout Stacks deck, not much of a thing anymore.
Yeah, you know what? I for a time played with the idea of morphing my Animar Hyper Tutor combo deck into, instead of like this proactive combo deck that tried to kill you on turn 2 or 3, I thought about, because it has so many tutors in it, if I can't consistently kill you on turn 2 or 3, and we had this conversation.
We'd had this exact conversation, Gallagher.
What if I tutored for a bunch of creatures that now cost only 1 or 2, because Animar, that were also Stacks pieces? So if I can't beat you, I slow you down. but that became actually too slow. So I had to double down on tutoring and being faster.
So there was a hot minute in the meta where everybody called it. We were in mid-range hell for a while when I first saw. We were in mid-range hell, and it was bad. We are slowly moving to a turbo meta. The meta is only picking up pace. So now, if you aren't completely locking me out of the game by turn 2 somehow, somebody at the table is going to present something.
He's going to try and
2, 3.
win. Yes.
And then, like, once that's, if let's say everybody does have the right interaction that stops, now we'll get into more of a mid-rangey long game, and you might be able to stacks me out then, for sure. But if your strategy is purely stacksing the table out, you better have stacks pieces nobody's heard of that cost 1, or you can play for free somehow.
I believe fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But instead, it's blow my load once, shame on me. Blow my load twice, you probably win.
Yeah,
that's how the stacks meta works now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's yeah. Like there's a couple decks I've seen people even trying out some weird mono red stuff. Like I think there's only 2 real stacks decks, and it's mono red Magda.
Yep.
And Lumra, Bellow of the Woods is a deck now.
Ooh.
And it's a mono green. It still wants to turbo out its commander and present to win, but it does have some stacks pieces to slow everybody else down. Because I think going mono green, you just miss out on that red, just bang, that explosiveness that something like a Tolly has.
I wonder if I can find mono green. Lumra Lands is on the deck list database.
Lumra Lands
There you
is
go.
a very, very cool deck. I like it a lot. I don't think it's ever going to be like a tier 1 deck. But I think as we like get more new lands and get more stuff, it's going to be like a solid tier 2 contender.
Could we come up with something better than Lumra Lands, like LL? Those 2 initials. Can't we call it like LL Cool J or some shit?
The deck list online that people use the most is Lumra Cocaine Bear, and that is probably the best name anybody's will ever come up for it.
Math checks out.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's go online, check out the deck list. It's kind of fun. It's a cool list.
Piece of CCO trivia. Ooh. My dad's favorite movie, Cocaine Bear. I don't know how that's
a weird choice.
That's a weird choice. Getting back to it. Yeah. Because I'm having actually a gay old time with this. Right above Harvest Animar. Harvest Animar was the deck that I played with Weird Harvest. Green XX. Each player tutors for X creatures, puts them into their hand.
Ooh.
I just tutor for my 2 combo pieces and
then win.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
With all the backup, right? Right above that on the list, Storm.
Who is the commander for Storm?
Storm, Force of Nature, the Marvel card. And you storm.
You storm
with
off,
Storm.
yeah. There's,
Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's give Storm a read here, because we haven't read any cards yet today.
True, yeah.
A 3/4 mutant hero, relevant creature types nowadays.
Yeah.
For red, blue, green, 1, flying, Vidge, and she has Ceaseless Tempest. Whenever Storm deals combat damage to a player, the next instant or sorcery you cast this turn has Storm.
Yes.
I like that.
You have to get around, have her alive, and attack.
I'm okay with this.
That's bad.
I don't like attacking.
Yeah, no, honestly, the problem is you have to get around to attack.
Yeah.
If she had, if maybe you had a haste enabler or something.
Obviously, they've never been to our part of the world. Like, storms come out of nowhere. Despite being able to watch your dog run away for 4 days, sometimes a storm, you just turn around and it's there.
It's there, yes.
Yeah, I guess they don't know.
No, they don't know.
Anyways, I'm going to find you some more historic ones. What's one that you're going to fucking hate?
Probably most of them.
Mimeoplasm Reanimator Hulk.
Yeah,
that has Protean Hulk in it.
And Protean Hulk's just good, yeah.
Probably at some point it played Flash before it was banned.
Yeah, because there's still a couple Abzan decks that do Protean Hulk pile. They're not good, but they exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting 6 mana up and then Protean Hulking and then somehow sacking it is a lot.
Let's pour one out. Let's pour some Pile of Bones out for Golos Storm.
Oh, Golos is greasy. Get him out of here. I'm so happy he was banned before I started playing. Oh my!
You know what's
Lord.
so funny about that is when whatever set he was in, M whatever, right?
Whatever course. Or,
course.
He
came out And we're doing the review on CCO back when we were in the old studio, CCO control room, and I'm reading them. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. You could like do this thing or whatever. And Brando's like, no, you freaking, what did he say?
You win the game. You do it one time, you win the game.
5 color plus 2, and there's no tap in that ability.
No.
Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You can play them this turn without paying their mana cost. He was like, you literally just tutor 4, and then for 7 cast Omniscience and win. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. Or time stretch to tutor for Omniscience.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I thought you just put like 5 color good stuff in it.
No, you play Expropriate, Jin-Gitaxias, every extra turn spells, every tutor. You do it one time, you win. That's if you do it and don't win, you are playing a 1 because you've obviously went a crazy direction with it.
What if you play Golos Blink and you use his other ability when he enters the battlefield, search your library for a land card, not even a fucking basic. WotC, what the fuck?
I was about to say, yeah, that's still, oh no, then I get my Gaias or something.
A land card,
yeah.
Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. If you play Golos Blink, you just find every land in your deck.
Yes.
That's not powerful at all.
No, why would you? And then I start doing that, and then I start hitting all my extra turn spells.
Yes, yeah, what you said. Najeela stacks.
Najeela is still kind of a deck.
Yeah.
Not stacks, though, I don't think.
How
It's
about-
more of an aggressive deck.
How about Scion of the Ur-Dragon Reanimator? What the fuck?
What were you guys doing?
I don't know. I don't think anybody knew.
No, that's fair. It was all new territory.
Yeah, exactly.
It was all new territory.
And honestly, it was a little bit Wild Westy because the structure that relegated people into their brackets or their metas just didn't exist yet. And man, it was almost like people, not the decks in this database.
Yes.
Because these ones were at whenever they were in there, they were the deck.
They were good
But
at one
before
point. Yes.
this deck list database ever existed, it was like people would justify having what we would call cEDH decks or combos or packages in their decks. But they would do the joke that Brando always says, oh, I built it in the car on the way over. Or, oh, it's never done that before.
Yeah, oh
right?
my
And
God.
they would do that kind of thing to justify beating a kid on turn 3 with their black blue Una deck that played like infinite mill combo. Like, and I know that you can get behind that shit because that's our shit. That like we actually like that if we're being losers, right? But funny story. Do you remember Angus from the CCO experience? And
Yes, I remember Angus. Yep.
You remember though?
Well, I saw him because he was at the event.
Oh yes.
No, he was asleep before he even got to the house.
Yes, Angus, I met him at this day in Calgary in 2018. Ooh. He was a judge and he had like an off day or whatever. Yeah. So he was playing EDH. And I'm sitting here playing Zada because I know that this guy in player 4 to me is like trying to scumbag this 10-year-old kid who's playing Tasigur, which, I mean, you don't fuck around with Tasigur, especially not in that day and age.
No.
So I'm playing Zada combo, and I'm trying to degen this guy who's playing Una Mill. This guy's playing Tasigur, and this guy, Angus, kitty corner to me, is playing Tatiova with Mindslaver. Like, this sounds like an early cEDH meta.
That sounds toxic, and I love it.
But toxic's a great word because I was only trying to metagame against this guy.
Who's trying to metagame against?
Well, he sat down and he's like, I'm playing, this is my most powerful deck. I'm trying to win prizes. And I'm like, not fucking today. Because this kid, literally 10 years old, was like, this is my first Magic event ever. And I'm like, all right, let's have a fun time. And Angus, who's a judge, who's been judging Commander events all weekend, is like, yeah, I've seen some shit this weekend. He's like, fucking got explosions and shit like, in his mind, like it's a meme. And we're playing and playing and playing, and I'm trying to Zada this guy to death and draw my whole deck and frickin' Wheel of Fortuning. I'm doing all this shit like that you do in cEDH in 2018. And he's just countering and paradox engineering. Hell, fuck, you never even played with that card. Fuck, you want to talk about toxic.
Paradox engine is wild.
Yeah. I end up saving this kid, giving him my prize tickets and shit. And then Angus fucking Mindslavers bad guy over here.
Ooh,
Mindslavers him.
Yeah.
Gets him. And he like doesn't infinite Mindslaver him, but he fucking non-kicked Cyclonic Rifts him.
Ooh,
And then Mindslavers him, and he just slumps.
That's the game. You're out, buddy.
And he's like, I'm gonna take myself out, but I'm gonna take this guy out. And I just fucking ganked them both next turn. And it was justice.
That sounds good. I like
it
that.
was
That
justice
sounds
because
good.
I helped a kid, and my friend Angus ended up being my friend in real life because we fucked this guy up.
Fuck that guy.
He was a Calgary guy. Fucking scumbags. Which brings us back to the Calgary scumbags. Tell me about your experience because, and I'll preface this with, I don't actually hate the Calgary guys.
No.
They are our rival city in Commander and in cEDH, and I will throw that gauntlet down. But since brackets and cEDH being its own thing, I've had quite a nice time with the Calgary competitive crowd, the CCC, if you will.
I was over there, and when I played in bracket 4 tables, and I was just like, hey, we're all doing bracket 4. We're all doing bracket 4. Awesome.
Yeah, like
great time.
Big dicks on the table, right?
Yeah,
like,
when I'd be like, you know what? I want to just have a nice chill game. I'm hungover. It is 10 in the morning. I want to play Miss Bumbleflower or like what other decks do I have that are bracket 2? Like my Outlaws deck that doesn't really do much. I would sit down, and then I remember this game made me angry. I sit down. It's a man, his wife, and his like 17-year-old son.
oh yeah.
And I sit down and I go, hey guys, what's going on? So, what bracket are you playing? I'm like, well, this is a bracket 2 pod, so I'm playing a bracket 2. He's like, yeah, so that could be anything. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean it could be anything? It's a bracket 2. He's like, was a combo, blah, 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 and starts going off. And I'm like,
That's a guy who sounds like he had a bad experience.
I was just sitting there. I'm like, dude, I'm playing gifts. I'm like, and I just, because he was being really weird about it, I was like, you know what? There is a combo in here that wins me the game. There is. It takes 10 mana, and I can't tutor for it. That's what the deck is. I need a way to win at some point, and if I hit 10 mana, I want the game to be over, honestly.
That sounds like a guy who's had some bad experiences and is being, I'll say, abrupt or using like upfront communication to weed out the possibility of having a bad time.
I would have thought that until he started the face-to-face. We were all kind of talking, I'm like, yeah, like I just wanted 2. Like I didn't want to use all my prize vouchers first thing in the morning. Like
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. I just want to play in a 2-pot. I'll use all my 3/4s later because they costed a little bit more.
Yep.
The guy comes over to hand us our prize tickets and our prizing and this and that, the other thing.
Was it Angus?
It was not Angus.
Oh, okay.
And he just goes in on this poor, probably like $15 an hour worker. Why are they doing it? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, dude,
What?
I was like, dude, this guy is a minimum. Like, he doesn't set the pricing for like the pods and stuff. And he's just going in on it. I'm like, whatever. I'm shuffling up. I am super hungover. I'm like, let's just go.
Did you gank him? Oh.
The whole game, I am doing not a ton. I am handing out cards. I am just playing a little value here
Is
and
this
there.
Bumbleflower?
It's Bumbleflower.
Yeah, okay.
His teenage son is playing mono green. I can't read. It doesn't even matter. Every turn, no. He plays a Vorinclex. He's like, ooh, I think I have a Game Changers deck. And his mom and dad are like, you got to take it out. It's a forest now. And start like ripping on their own son. And I'm like, and he's like, you have Vorinclex there. They're like, you have to like, that's a forest now. And I look at him like, no. That isn't a Game Changer anymore. Out of here. I start defending their kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, he can play it. It sucks, and he's probably going to win, but he can play it. So we all work together, get rid of the Vorinclex because it's not a Game Changer anymore.
Somebody's always got to take the hit for the team with Vorinclex. Hey, and your shit stays tapped.
Yep.
What
Oh,
a
I did it. I did my part.
That was your gift.
And I fucking got that shit out of there. I bounced it, and then I counterspelled it when he tried to play it again.
Nice.
And then, so we keep playing, and he's playing like just massive 15-15s every turn. He's playing this big just mono green stompy. He's doing round after round of doing this. Eventually the board gets cleared. I have 2 creatures out, one's tapped. And then his son, who has been dropping nothing but absolute fucking bombs on us the entire game, he looks at me and goes, kills Bumbleflowers, my only untapped person, then goes, pumps his character, I can't remember what, the Jack guy from Spider-Man, the Golgari guy, that Craven, the hunter
Sure.
guy,
Yeah,
it doesn't
sure.
matter. pumps him up to 21-21. I go, oh, obviously he's going to kill the guy who's been a threat all game. He goes, well, I don't know what their, I don't know. I know what their dex does. I don't know what your dex does. And then ganks me out of nowhere. And I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, you don't know what my deck does. Of course you know what their deck does. Why are you even playing with them? What are we doing? So that game, and so I did that one game. Then there was one where it was me and George with no Gs were sitting down playing a game. This guy played this thing, and I said, that's not how that works. You still have to pay commander tax, because he tried to pay life for it. He's like, well, that gets rid of commander tax. I was like, no.
What was it?
I can't. It was because he was playing enchantment creature commander. There's this thing where you can pay life for your first enchantment spell.
Ooh.
So what do you?
How do I do that?
I can't remember. It was this weird card. The interaction is basically, yes, he has to pay. He can pay life for it, but he still has to pay his commander tax for it.
Yeah.
But he's going, nope, that's not how that works. It goes, no, you can't get around that. That's part of its mana value. It's an additional cost. There's zero way to, unless you're playing like Scourge of Valkyries. There are ways around it, but that way, it's still part of its mana cost. You still need to pay it to cast. And he goes, judge, and the judge comes over, immediately says, yes, he is right.
Was it Angus?
Was not Angus.
Damn it.
Immediately says, yes, he's right, and that guy just threw a game.
Oh, you know what? You know what's so funny is, and I actually like this. We're totally off the CEDH talk.
Oh, we are. We'll get back.
But I love it. I actually like hearing stories from players that are newer than me. You're not a new player anymore, but you're newer than I am.
Yes.
And having fucking decades of experience playing Magic on you, hearing you have some of the same kinds of interactions that I've had in the past. Like when I say, oh, that guy's been burned before, and he's like using upfront communication to protect himself or his family. To see somebody slink down is telling me it's probably body language indicating that he's played it wrong in the past.
No, he said, and I quote, I said, that's not how that works. And he said, well, nobody else has called me out on that before. They've all just, that's how that is. I said, cool. I play with high, called out Aaron and Jeff for playing the game wrong the other night. Biggest achievement of my life.
Oh, yeah?
Because they said, well, maybe you could stack it like this. And I said,
5-color mono white angel?
Yeah. And I said, no. I was like, well, what about active player, non-active player? They said, oh my God, he's right. And I went, fucking did it. Got him.
Yep. You know what? I find that there's sort of a point. There's sort of a tipping point where, you know, when you go to a splash park, and I don't know, you don't got kids yet, but when you go to a splash park in the
Buddy, I'm still going to splash parks. That just never stops.
So you know the reference I'm going to make, where the bucket's slowly filling up with water until it finally hits the tipping point and the whole thing dumps on you.
Oh, yeah.
I find experience with, especially Commander, because, of course, there's building your deck.
Yep.
There's conceptualizing your deck and doing research. Then there's building and goldfishing, self-testing. There's testing within your meta. There's interactions, timing.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's gaining experience with it to understand how 100 cards work with any other 100 cards in your deck, or 99 cards.
Which is tough, which is very, very tough.
Then there's this social aspect.
Yes.
And then you can go out and travel and be hungover and play with difficult personalities. And you get to a point where it's like the water bucket tips and you're like, oh, I've experienced a lot of stuff to know kind of how I need to be to make sure that I have a good time and the people who play with me have a good time. Because at the end of the day,
it's all about having a good time.
That's what it's about. And getting back to CEDH.
Well, I had no problems with any of that type of stuff. As soon as I started saying, hey, let's all play bracket 4, there's no feelings. There's no, oh, you played that card. There's no nothing. That's why I love CEDH.
Yes.
It's just, let's all pound each other's faces in until there's one person standing.
Bracket 4 or 5, I would toss it.
Yeah, like before at a certain point you go, you can't, like, oh, you go whatever, Mox, Soul, like, then you're like, all right, you're probably closer to a 5, but like whatever.
You know what,
depending
though?
on the commander too, like.
Honestly, the commander being a value engine is going to be a common thread in brackets 3 and 4 and 5. Acceleration and powerful spells is going to be a thing in 4 more than 3.
Yeah.
And in 5.
5, it's crazy, yeah.
And really, to me, and this is my own experience talking now, and this is the breadth and width of my experience in CEDH all the way up until Calgary, when I played a couple games, even though it was just with my close friends that were in the CCO house.
Yes.
honestly, there are certain types of cards that belong in bracket 5 because people are trying to turbo you out
Oh yeah.
or trying to lock you out. And those cards are what make the difference. I wouldn't expect to see at a very high clip or consistent basis a 12 card free counterspell package in a bracket 4 deck.
No.
I would just not expect to see that. Now, if that happened to me and it was like, I don't know, my mono blue Bruvac deck, that isn't a cEDH deck, but it is a 1-card combo that I can get out on turn 2 or 3 with the right suite of mana acceleration and back it up with counterspells.
Yes.
It sounds like it's a bracket 5 cEDH deck if I put it to you that way.
Yes. Oh
But
yeah.
it just fucking isn't.
It's just not quite there.
Right? And for that reason, I treat bracket 4 and 5 the same way. Except there's things that I expect I'm just not going to see as often in bracket 4. And as soon as I started doing that, my bracket 4s and 5s conversations and matchups and socially around the table just started to take care of itself. It just started to fit. There wasn't any like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, or there's too many game changers, or like in bracket 3, actually this is a 3, but it plays like 5 game changers. There's none of that. There's just none of that. And I'm not saying that this is my de facto way that I like to play. I'm just saying that I've made this kind of observation and I've acted in this way based on that observation. And it's been great because I'm playing antiquated or fringe cEDH decks.
Which is fun. I like looking at the fringe decks too because they do they bring in some freshness. Like they bring.
You got to see my mono blue Bruvac then.
I've seen your mono blue Bruvac. Not interested.
Oh,
not interested. I watched the full episode. I saw the full deck list.
Shut up.
It's just mono blue. If I was gonna do something mill, I'd want to the black blue.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes,
it's just because
yes.
you're missing the tutor. You're just if you're trying to do your Bruvac thing, it just you might as well have a tutor that just goes gets everything. Then you can do it anyways.
Yeah, it's all about the Bruvac, baby.
Yeah,
that's that for me, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. You see how excited I got when I seen that black blue advisor mill guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, very happy in pants.
Oh yeah. There's low and live.
Yes?
Yes.
I
The
couldn't tell you.
advisors to Princess Azula.
I couldn't tell you what any of that means. But I'm going to play the shit out of that deck. I forgot to order one in my most recent fusion order. Dang. Anyways, how do you want to wrap it up? If Toby the Blue, and Black in this case, wanted to get his thoughts on cEDH, high power commander, bracket 4 and 5, if we can combine those both into high power, what would you say as a player who is relatively new, but you have your sea legs?
Yep. Oh yeah.
And as somebody who I think probably likes to always learn when you play. I get that vibe about you, especially when you told me you like to look at stats and deck list and meta changes as if they were baseball stats.
Oh yeah.
Like
That's
fuck, you
big
fit
thing.
right in the CCO house.
Oh,
when me
man.
and Aiden go off on a frickin' baseball tangent or a hockey tangent. I know you're a hockey guy, right? So what would you want to say as to put a bow on it or put a bow on your experience so far?
Everybody should play it at least once.
Okay.
It's super fun.
I actually like that. Everybody should play it.
It's just play it once. Just see, because then next time you go, oh, I didn't realize we were playing a cEDH deck. You'll realize, oh no, that deck is terrible, and that wasn't a cEDH deck, and you're just salty.
I actually like that. I didn't know we were playing cEDH is a thing that everybody's probably going to hear.
And then when you get turn 2 Demonic Consultation, Thassa's Oracle in a bracket 3, and then you go, oh no, that is a cEDH thing. You can go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Because like there's that. There's just so much to take. Like it's just such a cool format, and it is the most proxy friendly, so it's easy to get into for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It is, in my opinion, the best competitive format if you don't actually give a shit about winning.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll win very rarely.
Which is funny because the format's about winning.
But it has the lowest win rates out of every competitive format.
Yeah.
But so if you want it, because like I like playing competitive, I don't give a shit if I win. It's all about there's no feelings.
The process.
It's because me and Brown talk about this. There's always the feelings police. Well, that card hurts my feelings. I don't here. Nobody ever has, and like there's just zero. Well, you shouldn't be playing that in this bracket. Well, you shouldn't be playing that. Like it's just like yeah, it's legal. Like and you ripped it. That's awesome. Cool, we're done.
The last time I played Bruvac in a cEDH game was in Vegas. Turn 2 Ristic Study. Yep. Guess how many cards I drew off that cocksucker?
Oh, 10.
Fuck, 2. Guess whose feelings didn't get hurt?
How were you? Oh, how would you only draw 2? What was your pod doing?
Right thing is what they were doing.
Playing Magic and paying? I don't know. I like that everybody should play.
Mm-hmm.
I like that everybody should have the experience. It reminds me of the meme.
First time?
Yeah, kind of, but more than that. Oh, I didn't know we were playing a cEDH deck. Is like the Homer Simpson meme. This is the worst day of your life so far.
Yes, absolutely.
This isn't a cEDH deck. Wait until you experience one.
This isn't cEDH. You just play no interaction.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes that's what it comes down to. And I don't like to enter the conversation or the argument or the defense with that argument because that's kind of blaming them. And
when you play zero interaction,
sometimes people need to be blamed because they're wrong. If you don't know, though, if you're ignorant that you need as much interaction at bracket 3 as you do.
Bracket 3, I think I never had the problem. It's when you go up to bracket 4 and then you go, I only run like 5 pieces of interaction. How do you expect to win ever?
How do you expect to not lose?
Yeah, that's
is
like,
more accurate.
Like I am running at least 10 pieces because we're in 4. I'm going to try and combo off. Somebody else is going to try and combo off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or they're just going to swing out with 45 dinosaurs. Like, something bad's going to happen, and I need to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
You need interaction in a bracket 4. And somebody goes, oh, if I actually played interaction, I could have beat you. Cool, play it. That's awesome. Play it then. Do it. Beat me.
Actually played
then
interaction.
Play your interaction.
If I was going to pick up any interaction, I'd go to fusiongamingonline.com and use CCO Nation promo code. It's funny. I was just talking to the boss at Fusion. He didn't make me change the promo code, so we're going strong. CCO Nation promo code is going to get you a discount on all the stuff you're going to buy anyways. You might as well pay less money for it. Big thanks to the Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/CCO podcast. If you want to talk to Toby and myself and Uncle Brando, he's over there. Jump in the Discord. It's one of the main benefits, like coming to the CCO experience. I know that the guys are planning Toronto, Las Vegas, Vancouver.
Saskatoon's coming up.
Saskatoon is getting
the place where this is from. Is we have it coming. How'd you forget Saskatoon? That's the good one.
Because I'm not going to be here.
I'll be at Saskatoon.
There we go.
So you want to come see me and Brando.
And you know what? I think I heard a birdie kind of soft confirm that Brando is going to be in Vegas. And he's fist pumping like he's honking an air horn on a semi. So that is 100% confirmation there, folks. And if you want to be in a house with him, and maybe even a hot tub or pool with him, if you
dude soup
like that kind of thing, yeah. Patreon.com/CCO podcast. What was the last thing I wanted to say? I had one more thing I wanted to talk to you about right at the end of the show, but now I don't frickin' remember.
Is it in the
what
notes? You sent me notes.
Yeah, but I'm not going to look at them now.
Okay.
Well, final parting thoughts. Usually I ask Brando that, but now I'm going to ask you that, even though I'm in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
What's the final thought? Play cEDH. Get dumpstered so you know actually what it's like.
Absolutely.
Don't complain if you don't play interaction. If you want to play bracket 4 and 5, expect that you ought to be playing it in this way. Proxies are okay as long as your group or store or environment is cool with them. What else you got? What's the final thing? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah,
I'm putting you on the spot.
That's a lot of way to say. Grixis is the best color combo. Play that.
Whoa, you heard it here first. Probably not. Grixis.
I'm God's first biggest green hater. I'm God's biggest soldier, and they fight against green.
Okay, you know what? I like Grixis, but it's Teamer. And with that, Brando, how do you usually end this?
Oh, I can do this one.
You can do it?
I can do
You
this
you
one.
missed the which you should be.
I did, but I can do this one. Oh wait, no, I was gonna do the opening. I was gonna do the hit our theme song.
Oh,
At the
you
end,
suck.
too.
You suck. You know what? I'm going to practice, and you'll hear it on the next episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!